Right on the line now from DC United, getting ready to take on TFC Jovinko and the boys, Sean Franklin. Sean, welcome to Red Card, my friend.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure's all mine. Sean, let's talk first and foremost about that big win over Chicago Fire. Your team right now is firing on all cylinders. You guys are putting the ball in the back of the net, and you're keeping them out of your end. What is working so far for you guys this season that really you feel and your teammates feel that there's a different synergy than there was last year?
Yeah, the past few games haven't been our greatest. We've been down in both games, but we found a way to fight through it and get goals. And we have an important game tomorrow against Toronto. We know it's going to be a tough team, and we got to make sure that we come out playing the right way and making sure that we're the ones scoring the first goal.
Sean, let me tell you, I'm sure my buddy Kofi Opari will remind you that Jovinko and TFC are ready to battle you guys tomorrow, but you've got veteran Bobby Boswell there and yourself that have been around the game a long time. How are you going to contain Jovinko tomorrow?
Yeah, we just got to be aware of his movements. We know they're a team that when they get going, it's through the play of Jovinko, and I think if we could, limit his touches and, limit his ability to make the game, I think it gives us a chance to get 3 points tomorrow.
There's a different style that I've seen your club play this year than last year. I see you guys spreading the ball around more this year, Sean, more offensive-minded, really looking to attack at every opportunity, not sitting back. I noticed that is one of the differences this year from last year. Am I off on that, or am I pretty close on that analogy?
No, you're pretty close. We have players that are able, that have the ability to get in the box and give good service, and it's our job to make sure that we're doing it. And I think that we've done a pretty good job of getting guys in the right areas and executing on certain plays, and I think that it's something that we definitely are doing better this year than we might have done in the past.
It's got to be nice to look on that bench to have veterans like Davy Arnaud, guys like Luis Silva to put the ball in the back of the net. I've had Davy on our show last year, and this guy to me is the ultimate warrior, Sean. He'll go through a brick wall for his teammates. He's the consummate pro on and off the field. This guy in training sessions will take you down. How important is it to have a leader like this on your team?
It's good. I think it's needed to have a few of those guys on your team. Someone who's been around the league, someone who knows what it takes to win games, and he's a professional 24/7. And I think it's good to have someone that's kicking your butt in training and wants to win every single time he's on the field.
Let's talk about DC United and who you believe is going to be their biggest rival, biggest challenge this year. Will it be the Revs? Will it be the Red Bulls? Possibly maybe at TFC if they continue. Who do you feel that right now is really nipping on your heels to fight for that first position?
Yeah, I'd probably say it's too early in the season. We're not even halfway yet, but every team is in it. It doesn't matter who's in first or who's in last. Any team can go on a run, and we know right now we're top of the East and we want to stay there, but we still know there's a lot left in the season.
It's got to be nice to see cities like Orlando and New York with a second franchise really excite MLS, excite the fan base all over this league. How are you and your teammates really enjoying having these two new franchises in your conference as well?
It's good for the league. You got some big names coming over, some guys that haven't, arrived yet as far as Lampard comes, to NYFC. But, it just shows that this league is growing and that there's players that, although some of them would say they're on the end of their careers, but, it just makes our league better. And, it's going to be exciting for years to come for this league.
Sean, you look at Seattle, Vancouver, and Portland. To me, lights out the three most important, I would say, franchises in that Western Conference on and off the field. It is a European atmosphere. They pack them in. They're very knowledgeable. And to me, I think this is what the league needs more in the eastern part of the league. Your thoughts?
I agree. I think teams need, their specific stadiums and soccer specific stadiums, and having those atmospheres, it's great, and it's something that I look forward to when I go and play against those teams.
Sean, it's got to be difficult, let's be honest, because here on Red Card, we tell it the way it is. It's got to be hard for you as a guy that plays your position to go from beautiful grass, facility stadiums to play then on turf. It's got to take a wear and tear on your hips, your knees, your ankles, all parts of your body.
Yeah, it's all players deal with it. It stinks that that we do play on turf, but it's something that everyone deals with, and it's all about just taking care of your bodies and making sure that you're doing the right things after games when you play on a surface like that.
Sean, when people are watching DC United, when they're getting ready to watch DC take on TFC, is there an identity that you and your teammates and the coaching staff have really displayed this year? Are you trying to build an identity, unlike many other clubs in MLS?
Yeah, I think every club right now is still trying to find out who they are. Like I said, it's still early in the season. There's teams that haven't, peaked yet, and like I said, although we're at the top right now, we don't want to get complacent. We want to make sure that we're doing the right things, and it starts tomorrow by finishing off this 3-game homestand with 3 points.
The game is growing in leaps and bounds in North America and in the US of A specifically. We see the NCAA, Sean, really be the feeder system for MLS clubs. We see the Canadian, the local boy Kyle Lauren with Orlando really lighting it up in his first season. We see a lot of guys that have come from NCAA go on to success and play in World Cups like the last one in Brazil. How important is this that the collegiate, the university, NCAA, clubs continue on this to keep helping MLS clubs?
I think it's good. College, for myself was a great experience, and I think that players, young guys, I think it's good for them to go to school, not just as far as to grow as a soccer player, but to grow as a man, as an individual. But I think that if we keep growing that way and keep having good academies and good youth systems, it's only going to be years before we become one of the top leagues.
Let's talk about that a little before we let you go, Sean. Academies and clubs up here in Canada really still today are not on the same page. The academies feel they have the right recipe. The clubs say they do. I know in the US of A, with my 2 sons where I've traveled, it's a little bit of the same down there. How important is it that everyone gets on that same page and forgets about the wins and losses and really worries about developing and starts to treat coaches at the youth levels with a lot more respect than they've done in the past? Not just this volunteer guy, but someone that really cares about the game.
Yeah, it's something that's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take time, and I feel here we have the right systems, and we want to do the right things, and it's going to be a process, and hopefully it's not a very long process, but we got to be realistic with ourselves that we are a little bit behind, and eventually I think we will get there.
How important was it to see, obviously, an MLS member in Montreal Impact get so close, and then lose it on home turf to go on to represent MLS in that Champions League final? How important was that for the league? How important was it for players to now, get that exposure through Montreal in that experience?
It's good. It's great for the league. It's great, for Montreal, and I think everyone was rooting for them to advance and to be so close. I know it's probably frustrating for them, but I think for the league, it just shows that we get a little bit more respect.
Just as we let you go, talk about your fans. Your fans, I think, are some of the most underrated fans in MLS. They're there strong, supporting you guys through good weather, through bad weather, through ups and downs. I think this is a solid fan base, and I'm hoping sooner than later they can get a wonderful facility, a wonderful stadium, so they can continue to cheer on DC United. Talk about your fans.
Yeah, they're great. The weather is not always the best here on the East Coast, and they come out, rain or shine, windy, freezing cold, and this club has been around from the beginning. It's been a successful club, and the fans deserve a nice day to be in, and hopefully it'll be coming in the next couple of years.
Sean, as we let you go, we always ask the players that come on our show to give a tip out there to the youngsters that want to live the dream like Sean Franklin is living, playing professional soccer, getting paid, traveling all over North America. Talk to that young boy, that young girl maybe, that's watching and listening to us today. What do they need to do if they're struggling maybe with confidence, or maybe they're not getting the proper guidance, but they want to live that dream? What advice would you like to give to them?
Yeah, I mean, even now, I still ask questions as far as how I can get better and what I can do to work on my game. Just know that there's somebody always out there when you're not working, they're working. So I would say to train as much as you can, and while you're training, you gotta love the game, and I think that's a big part. You gotta enjoy what you're doing. That's something I definitely enjoy.
Sean Franklin, you're a class act. Good luck tomorrow against TFC and Jovinko and the boys. Really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule. Again, thanks so much and good luck the rest of the season, my friend.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Sean Franklin of DC United, class act, the guy that has been a real good, solid member of DC United this year, a guy that leaves it all out there, heart and soul type of a guy. This is the type of guy you want your youngsters to watch and learn from in that position specifically. Sean Franklin, DC United, thanks so much.